An echo of an echo is the semblance of a sound. And I pressed and I've waited with my ear upon the ground. Oh, lover, I'll see you there, waiting in the willows with your autumn hair. Oh, lover, I'll see you there after many miles.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for watching this episode of the Maine Food Story, an extension of Maine Life. And if you watch Maine Life, you know that Vanessa and I love to eat, but more importantly, we love to learn where our food is coming from and meet the makers and producers and share their stories with you. So tonight we have 6 segments or 6 delicious courses to share. Bon appetit.
Hi, I'm Mike Vail, president of Hannaford Supermarkets. Once again, Hannaford is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Maine Food Story. We're excited for this season and we can't wait to see what Aaron and the team have in store for us. We all know that Maine has become a destination for foodies, and there's really good reason for that. We not only have great restaurants and world-class chefs, we also have hard-working Mainers who are producing some of the world's finest foods. I'm proud to say we've built relationships with some of the same growers and producers highlighted in this show. And you'll be able to find a great variety of those local fresh foods in your neighborhood Hannaford, so you can create your own Maine food story. Thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we can't wait to see you in our stores again soon.
Hey everyone, we're here in Belfast on a foggy morning, but I am excited because we are about to meet Matt and Jim, my friends who are the founders of Sweet Monkey Business. They make some of the finest shortbread and granola you've ever tasted. I've been eating it for years, and now we're gonna go inside, make some, and taste some more. Let's go.
We got started with Sweet Monkey Business. This is our second career. Jim was a carpenter previously, and I was in technology marketing. But we knew we wanted to do something in the latter half before retirement, and we had made cookies for friends and families for years, and they were a big hit. So when we decided to try something else, we came back to that idea.
The name of Sweet Monkey Business came about, it's a silly story, but we had a female dog who was alpha in our family. We've always had dogs, and she was super mischievous, and so she would steal my socks. And so even as a puppy, she would steal my socks. And so for years we thought, I'm gonna try to break her of that. 12 years later, we never broke her of it. So we would get this joke where she would see my socks, she would get all excited, and then I'd say to Matt, she's up to monkey business. There she is, she's up to monkey business. We decided on shortbread for our cookie for Sweet Monkey Business, and Matt knows as well, but being the baker. So when we started, we had quite a variety of cookies. And so when we started with that, at the farmer's market, we had a few, but people had a nostalgic feeling about shortbread. It was like their grandmother, they had it in London, or they had it in this, and all of a sudden there were stories behind the shortbread. It was like, well, that's cool. So we kind of gravitated towards that. But then, as a baker, they were sturdy. They held up when we shipped them. Some of our cookies were disaster. They were like super crumbly, and they got there shredded. But these were holding up, and their shelf life was amazing, and it was a simple recipe.
We decided to go to Scotland on vacation, but also to go to the home of shortbread and to visit some of the famous brands like Walker's and Dean's. And it is amazing shortbread, and there is a lot of shortbread in Scotland. But we also got some inspiration for some savory shortbread and some new flavors. We decided to do the granola because we wanted something a little different. We wanted something with less oats and more nuts, seeds, berries, and superfoods, so we call it superfood granola. And it's delicious. It's flavored mostly sweetened with maple syrup, but has a lot of punch and a lot of flavor with all of those seeds, nuts, and berries. So on this board of the cookies, we have cranberry, lime, which is new, lemon, ginger spice, classic pecan, and cocoa.
These are all for me?
They are.
I want to try one of the new lime ones, and I don't think I've tried the ginger one yet, and I know my mother loves ginger, so let's try these first. Oh, and please. Yep. Cheers with me. Cheers with the cookies.
Absolutely. I'm going to go with lemon.
Lemon?
I'm a classic guy.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
They're so good.
There's that smile I was talking about.
One of these sleeves is open in the house. It doesn't, it's just, we just go right through it. It's so good. I use your granola not just on yogurt, but I actually make ice cream sundaes with it. And I cut up bananas and put the ice cream, banana, and your granola on there. But so tell us just like a simple parfait or something like that you guys make.
What most people tell us they do is they love it on their yogurt. So they put a little bit of the sprinkle of granola on their yogurt, and it really makes a different treat for them.
So this is an unusual mix. So this is cocoa, and I know how you love the cocoa.
I do.
So it's a chocolate ice cream, our cocoa shortbread, and drizzled on top is dark chocolate balsamic vinegar.
Dark chocolate balsamic vinegar.
It really makes a very elegant dessert.
Wow. These are just such high quality, and I think your business model is brilliant. And yeah, hopefully more people will get a chance to try these and the granola. And I'm just gonna tuck myself away over here and keep eating.
Hi everybody. Today's featured drink is the American Anthem Blueberry Crush. As I was browsing the Maine Spirits app, I just fell in love with the color of the drink.
I mean, you also wanted to wear that pretty blue shirt.
Yeah, it's a new one.
Well, I've got to admit, I've never purchased blue carousel liqueur before, but I'm really excited to try it. You have chosen to make this cocktail with vodka, but I've read that you can also try it with gin and tequila. And you know, it feels like a really summery drink, but I was saying that if you have the winter blues, this is your go-to.
The color will just brighten your day.
All right, so this recipe calls for a pitcher, but because it is just Papa Will and I, here's how you make it.
For Aaron and I had to modify the recipe. You add 4 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of carousel, 1 ounce of simple syrup and lemon juice. Throw a few blackberries in your glass and muddle them up real good. Then pour that beautiful blue cocktail over some crushed ice.
And for the occasion, you bought these beautiful blue straws. I am so excited to try this. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Let's see if it tastes like carousel.
That's actually really good.
A little stronger than 5. Let's go to carousel, everybody.
I'm ready.
All
Let's go.
right. Woo-hoo.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the kitchen here in South Freeport on the ragged, jagged, delicious coast of Maine, and I'm doing a classic Italian dish, carbonara, but I'm calling it crabonara. Why? Because I'm putting crab in it, and it's awesome. First step, we take about 2 cups of half and half over some heat. Why do I like half and half? Well, because it's not quite as rich as cream, but it's richer than milk, and we want that nice richness to this. I mean, carbonara, right? So I've got 1 zest of lemon. You can do this on a microplane, like zest it up into fine shreds, but I like those big pops of lemon flavor in the final dish. So we're gonna be reducing this just for about 5 minutes or so. We've also boiled up our pasta, drained that. I like a really al dente pasta, so I only boil linguine for maybe 7 minutes or so before I pull it off. And I made sure to save about 1/4 cup of that pasta cooking water. Why? Well, because that pasta cooking water tastes like pasta, right? And if at the end of this we need something to sort of thin out our sauce and help it broadcast and bloom all those flavors, well, we've got that pasta flavored water. So I've got our half and half and lemon zest reduced by a little bit here. And next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna temper some egg yolks. What does that mean? Well, if I just dump the egg yolks right in here, they would cook and curdle instantly. So, just like if you were making ice cream or something, use a little bit of that cream to gradually bring those eggs up to temp. All right, so you get mixed in, beautiful, beautiful local Maine eggs here, beautiful rich yolks. All right, and then when you put it in, you now simmer this for a couple minutes until it begins to thicken. You don't want it to, come to a really thick temperature, but even just about 1 minute, 30 seconds, and you'll see it begins to take on this just sort of luxurious texture. And wow, we're pretty much there already. I'm I'm gonna take a whole lot of parsley. I'm gonna take a whole lot of tarragon, because tarragon is fancy and tarragon's delicious, right? And then I've got crab. So using Maine crab for this is great, but any crab will do. Look at that thick, rich sauce. Last thing to do is bring it all together. So I'm gonna add that sauce right into our pasta. I am going to take pepper, and I have pepper and fennel seed in my pepper grinder. Why? Because I like the duo of it. It's just a nice combo together. And stir this all together. Yes, yes, yes. All right, how easy was that? I mean, you gotta pay attention to it to make sure you don't curdle those egg yolks, but here we go. I did add about 1/4 cup of that pasta cooking water to thin it out a little bit to get the best coverage of that pasta. Look at that, twist it around while it's in the bowl. Twist it around. Here's a chef trick technique for you right there. And look at that. You get this beautiful, beautiful mound of delicious carbonara pasta. Serve it with a little lemon wedge on the side. Cheers, y'all. Bon appetit.
This week on Conversations with Chefs in Their Home Kitchen, Vanessa heads up to camp with the owners of Alice and Lulu's Mountainside in the Carrabassett Valley.
The doggies are opening the door? The doggies. Yes,
right,
well, they love me.
right.
They love me.
We met in the digital realm before Tinder existed. Yet
A
before
successful
Bumble.
match dog. That's a ringing endorsement there.
That brings us full circle to breakfast because
Okay.
our first date we were both working second shift and didn't know how to like make our schedules work except to have breakfast together.
Think you have enough bacon
Never.
for us in there?
Never.
Oh my word.
My goodness, never.
So good. I mean, I've known you and Laura for a while now, and I can't remember how you got into cooking and sort of, you know, developed this sort of passion, especially with respect to French cuisine. And
Yeah. So I guess it's really appropriate to be standing in my mother's kitchen to tell the story because my mom's one of 7. Well, 7 and a half. She's got a half brother that's the oldest of the group. And then we had more family cookouts and family dinners, and we do an annual Christmas Eve, like full Italian Feast of the 7 Fishes experience. I just grew up in that environment, standing next to my mom or my Uncle Tony, who was.
Do we all have an Uncle Tony? I think an Uncle Tony.
I think every Italian must have an Uncle Tony. He was like 6'6".
Yeah.
And this like big imposing man, and he would make this vat of gravy, because Italians call it gravy. We don't call it bolognese. We just call it gravy or sauce. And he'd do this every Christmas, and I would, you know, stand here by his knee, which even at like 10 years old, I probably only came up to his hips, and he'd be stirring and stirring. He had this giant wooden spoon, and he would hold the spoon and look at me and be like, "You never put a metal spoon in your gravy, ever, ever, ever." And he'd go back to stirring it, and like he would just drop nuggets of wisdom on me for, you know, hours at a time while we stood there and did all this cooking. And likewise with my mom, she put 3 meals a day on the table for us every day, which I cannot imagine working at that pace. I give her all the credit in the world for doing that.
Breakfast
is served.
I understand you have a certain method. You want to show us what you like to do?
As mentioned, I'm not like a huge sweets person, so my pancake tendencies tend to run away from maple syrup.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna make a little sandwich, cream cheese.
Very nice.
My next move, I'm gonna steal Laura's clean knife here.
Look at this.
Is jam.
Look at this action.
In the middle.
What? Oh man.
Right? That's a good pancake.
It's actually, these taste different than any other pancakes I've ever had, actually. They're wonderful.
You don't have to lie to me, it's okay.
No, they're wicked good. That's one thing I won't lie about food, I promise. So I honestly thought when I drove up and saw your food truck up on the street that I was going to get some grilled cheese and some cocktails. And tell us about, you know, what inspired you all to start the food truck and the name of it and where, you know, you can be found and stuff like that.
Well, our brick and mortar being at the base of Sugarloaf, we wanted to make sure that our food and our concept was going to be accessible outside of the boundaries of the property of the resort in the off season, right? Because we're known as the Alpine restaurant that serves wheels of cheese, we just thought the Wheelhouse Maine was only appropriate to take the wheels of raclette cheese and serve it, you know, as many different places around the state. So we started the...
It's bright yellow, you can't miss it.
It looks like a block of cheese, you can't miss it. It's an extension of what we can do in the restaurant where we can continue to support, you know, our farmers, the purveyors, cheesemakers, and then incorporate it sort of year round with the seasonality of then what we're picking from the farm, and then just create a menu, you know, in the summer and be more mobile with it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a bit more free form, which is fun for us to be able to play a little. It's like we're coloring outside the lines with that.
Well, thank you both so much for letting us invite ourselves over, sharing your beautiful food, and maybe we can grab a coffee and walk down with the dogs to the lake.
Absolutely.
Hey you, are you looking for EV?
Are you talking to me?
How about an e-bike?
Yeah? That sounds cool.
What if I told you that a purchase of every Nissan Aria at Berlin City comes with a complimentary e-bike?
That's right, an e-bike to double your electrification.
Where are these words coming from?
Maine is a lifestyle destination. With over 3,500 miles of coastline, lakes, mountains, and four-season recreation, there's a reason Maine is known as Vacation Land. At Harcourt's Waterfront and Fine Properties, we're the Maine real estate lifestyle experts. If you're thinking about moving to Maine, we can help you not only find a property, but the perfect home to fit your lifestyle. Contact us today to make your dream of living in Vacation Land come true. Harcourt's, we're with you all the way.
Hi everybody, I am so excited to introduce you to April, one of the many dietitians here at Hannaford. The dietitian program has been around for 20 years and the services are free. So April, tell me and everybody watching what it's all about.
So I am one of around 30 dietitians with our program. We're in almost 60 Hannaford stores. And we are in our community teaching people about healthy eating. We are online teaching classes. We're also outside of our stores, out in the community at different events, teaching people, giving presentations, and even working with kids and adults. It's wonderful. And yes, our services are all completely free.
So when you want to eat healthy and you want to stick to a budget, where do you suggest you begin?
I want you to start by taking a look in your refrigerator and in your pantry. See what you have and need to use. You put together your menus starting with that. You can also look at the flyer for inspiration and to get a sense of what some of our deals are this week, and then come to the store with a plan in place.
But then you can divert from your plan. If I'm the type of person who always grabs a cucumber just because it's second nature, but if the peppers are on sale, we can do that.
Yeah, so if you put something like vegetables for snacking or fruit for snacking on your list as opposed to specific items, when you get to the store and you see those first two displays, those items are in season and they are on sale. And you can grab from there first to fill those needs and get the best deal for your produce.
All right, let's go shopping.
So one of my favorite tips for managing your budget while eating healthy is to follow unit pricing. So for example, this is a fantastic convenient product. These are baby carrots. They're all individually wrapped in small packages. Great for parents, but they are $3.54 a pound.
Yeah.
Whereas these bulk buy of carrots are 86 cents.
Oh wow,
a pound.
yeah.
So it's a big difference there, and you can probably do just that little bit of work.
Right, yeah. 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah,
Save
wash
a few dollars.
them, cut them, you're good to go.
All right, so talking about families and throwing those snack packs, you know, in the lunch boxes, what are some other ways that, you know, may take a few more minutes, but are worth it?
So like the carrots, there's some steps you can take to portion out food for your kids and save a bit of money that way. We all know that oatmeal is a healthy choice for us in the morning. And these instant packets are easy.
However,
this is the same thing. And this is $2.56 a pound, whereas this is $1.52 a pound.
And you can make oatmeal cookies later.
Exactly.
Healthy oatmeal cookies.
It's more versatile. My philosophy is it's about what you add to your diet, not what you take away. The occasional cookie is not a big deal.
Says the dietitian, everybody.
Similar to the oatmeal, buying these larger tubs of yogurt can save you some money.
Always do it.
Getting this plain one means you're not getting any added sugar, and you can decide what goes in with this. So you can add your own fruit, nuts, granola, whatever you like. These also earn 3 Guiding Stars. And the Guiding Stars program is a really easy way to find healthy products throughout the store. 1 star is good, 2 stars is better, 3 stars is best.
Last but not least, protein.
Protein can be a big part of our food budget.
Totally.
You can save money by leaning into more plant-based proteins like beans, nuts, even peanut butter. And when you are in the meat department, try to get here in the morning so you can grab our manager specials. These items need to be sold that day, but they usually have a good markdown. Another option is the more bulk, larger purchases, like these right here. You can take those and bag them up before you put them in the freezer into individual servings and save some money that way.
Well, thank you so much for the tips and tricks. Everyone and my friends at Hannaford know I need them. So I hope that April shared some really good things with you to eat healthy on a budget. And by the way, everybody, remember, April and her team are free, and you can go online at hannaford.com to chat with you.
Yeah, hannaford.com/dietitians to find the Hannaford dietitian in your area.
Healthy eating.
Welcome to the Maine Grains Minute. My name is Amber Lamke, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Maine Grains. Maine Grains organic oats and chocolate are taking center stage today as we feature one of our favorite lacy oat sandwich cookies made here at the Miller's Table at Maine Grains. This recipe comes from a sweet little cookbook called Fika, Recipes for Celebrating the Art of the Swedish Coffee Break. From cardamom cakes to sweet rolls, saffron buns, and cookies, this cookbook has inspired me to find new ways to enjoy Maine Grains freshly milled flours in low sugar treats for my mid-morning coffee break. These are Maine Grains rolled oats, and we've pulsed them in a food processor just to break the particle size up a bit. It adds a few more fines, a little bit of oat flour, to this flour, and will allow the cookie batter to bind together a bit better. Next, we're gonna whip our eggs and our sugar together. I'm going to do this by hand today, but of course you can use your mixer or your KitchenAid or however you like. Blend your eggs and sugar together until they're golden and creamy looking. This recipe calls for a little bit of Maine Grains sifted all-purpose flour, which I'm gonna add to the oats, and melted butter, which will coat the flour and oats. Once you've coated the oats with your melted butter, we're going to incorporate our whipped egg and sugar. Next, we're going to drop 2 teaspoons of this lacy oat cookie batter onto a parchment-lined sheet tray. This batter will spread out in the oven, giving it its lacy, thin character. And these cookies will go into a 350-degree oven for only about 6 minutes. So our lacy oat cookies are all baked now, and next comes the fun part, gluing the cookies together with this decadent chocolate ganache from Bixby Chocolate. And these are our lacy oat cookies featuring Maine Grains organic rolled oats and Bixby Chocolate. We'll see you next time on the Maine Grains Minute.
Hi, everybody. Well, I tell you, it's blue.